River Otter Ecology Project studies river otters and their return to the San Francisco Bay Area after a long absence caused by pollution, loss of habitat, and fur trapping. They are doing well here now because we have done much of the restoration and conservation work needed to make our waters and shores attractive to otters. That provides the otters healthy food and safe neighborhoods, elements all of us living beings need to thrive. The fact that river otters are doing well in our densely populated Bay Area helps us understand that humans can and must help keep the planet healthy for everyone. One way we can discover what animals are in our neighborhoods, our schools, or wildlands is by using special cameras to take photos or videos of animals that pass by them. The cameras take photos or videos automatically, meaning we don't have to be there ourselves to collect the images. Images and photos are data. They help us understand the animals and their relationships to their world. Megan Isidore will show you some basics about how to set up one of these motion-activated cameras. Maybe you can set one up at your home or school and see who your wildlife neighbors are. Not only that, but you can keep track of what species and how often they pass by your cameras from season to season and year to year. You can also observe their behavior. That is data, the kind of information biologists collect to help us figure out how best to protect wildlife and wild places. I hope you can join us in this important work for our planet. We've found lots of otter tracks and scat, or poop, on this dune, and from the signs of rolling and the corridors they use to come in and out of the water, we know otters use this area to go back and forth, to eat, and to roll around to keep their fur in good shape and to deposit scat.
Now, a camera trap is a camera. It's not really a trap. It's a trail camera, and it takes photos or videos. And the cool thing about these cameras is that you can set them up and start them going, and then the only time they take pictures or videos is when something comes across them. And so they're called motion activated. So they're activated by an animal or a person coming across them, but they can also be activated by other things like blowing, waving grasses, or like waves in the water, or even by sunlight glinting off the water. So you have to be a little bit careful when you're setting up these cameras. Now, the first thing I want to do is think about where I want to put it. It's really nice to have a handy tree to tie the camera to, because there you've got it. You're all set up on a tree. Here, we don't have a tree. There's nothing very easy to set a camera up. However, I brought this handy stake. So I'm thinking about where to put this, and I'm looking, if we have the camera facing those reeds, see how they're blowing in the wind? No, that's going to make the camera go and go and go, and it's going to think it has animals on it, but it's just going to be the blowing reeds in the wind. So you want to set it up where there isn't too much vegetation blowing. So another place we could think about setting up this camera is pointing this way, because we know the otters are coming back and forth in the water. But if we have the camera pointing at the water, then every time the water moves or every time the sun glints off it, it's going to set the camera off. So that's, again, not the best place for the camera. Then the other thing we want to think about is how the animals are moving through here. They are coming up here, they're coming up this path. So it would be great to have the camera pointing toward the path so we can see them coming up the path for a minute or two instead of just crossing the path for a second or two. So I try to set my camera up where it's pointing sort of down the path rather than across the path. So the next question we have is, should we point the camera this way down the path or that way down the path? And I'm going to choose this way down the path because, as we talked about, all that vegetation is there. Let's point it this way. Then we want to think about how high should it be? If we had a tree here, we could put it way up in the tree, and then it would take photos and pictures of the animals from above. But what I like to do is put the camera at about the height of the animal I'm trying to take the photo of, because that way we get the best photos of them of all. So I'm going to put it, otters are about this tall, so I'm going to place the camera on my stick about right here. And how do we do that? We have a camera case. Now the case we don't always use, and you may or you may not use it, but I like to use it out here especially because we can lock it. And unfortunately, people do steal cameras, so you want to take care to make sure that they're locked in if you can lock them. And the cases help you do that. So I do not have the perfect setup here. Normally, I would have a rock or something to let the camera sit on. I don't have that now, but one of the things about doing any kind of field biology is you use what you have and you make it work. And sometimes it's trial and error, and you have to come back next time for better with the stuff that you actually need, but I can almost always make something work in the field. One of the things that really helps is bungee cords. Make sure that it's not covering the lens. That helps to hold it where you want it. One of the things that we always wonder about is what our camera is actually seeing, because we can't get down there and get behind it and know what it's seeing. A really handy thing to do is take your cell phone, put it on photo, turn it around, and hold it against the camera, right against the camera, and click. And then you can tell what the camera is seeing, so you know if you need to adjust it. So that is one handy thing about camera trapping. One of the things that I always bring with me is a laminated friendly sign telling about what I'm doing with this camera, who we are, giving information about our project. I put it on the camera so that if people see it, they'll know what's going on and they won't, hopefully, get upset or worried about it. So there's my friendly sign. And another handy thing to have is your biology notebook. Whenever you're out in the field, you want to be able to take notes. You can take notes on your phone by using your voice memos, but I really like to read these Write in the Rain notebooks. If them and a pencil, no matter what the weather is, you can take notes on what you're doing and what you're seeing. Once you have your camera up and it's taking pictures or videos, make sure you check it. You can check it every day, you can check it once a week, but check it and keep a record of what you get on your camera.
Camera trapping is a great way to learn lots about our wildlife neighbors, because when humans aren't around to make them wary, they go about their natural wild lives. We could get information about how many there are, whether they're healthy or not, whether they are young, their behavior, and their vocalizations. When we do it for a long time in the same areas, we can begin to learn how they use their habitats. Camera trapping is a fun and interesting way to collect data. Check out the River Otter Ecology Project's website, Facebook page, and YouTube page for lots more videos of river otters and other animals from our camera traps. You can also look at our website for reports about our camera trapping project, including lots of data to learn and have fun with.